A shot pierced the dawn, a cry for our land and our son's voice. The gunshot tore through the quiet morning like a knife through silk. It was barely dawn, the sky still bruised purple, when the sound shattered the peace of our 10-acre ranch in rural Tennessee. Then came the scream, high, raw, and desperate. It was my son Tommy, just 10 years old. My heart stopped. I leapt from the porch, boots pounding the dirt, my wife Ellen shouting behind me. The air felt thick, the world narrowing to one thought: get to Tommy. I sprinted past the stables, through tall grass that whipped my legs, and skidded to a halt in the clearing. There, in the open field, Tommy knelt in the dirt, his small arms wrapped around a lifeless body. Buttercup, his miniature therapy horse, lay still, her white, and, brown coat stained crimson, blood pooling beneath her, dark and silent. Tommy's sobs shook his whole body. Dad, they shot her, they shot Buttercup. His voice cracked, and something inside me broke too. I dropped to my knees, hands trembling as I touched her side. No heartbeat, no breath. Her eyes stared blankly at the sky. Buttercup wasn't just a horse, she was Tommy's lifeline, the reason he'd started speaking to strangers, the reason he faced school each day despite his anxiety. Now she was gone, gunned down on our own land. I looked up and saw 2 men in camo, rifles slung over their shoulders, stepping through a broken section of our fence. One laughed, a cruel bark. Better not be touching our deer. He called, smirking like it was a game. My fists clenched. That's no deer. I growled, standing. That's my son's horse on my land. What the hell are you doing here? They hesitated. The taller one shrugged. She ran in front of us. We had permission. Some lady from the HOA said it was okay. Hoa. My blood ran cold. Our ranch was private, 10 acres outside the subdivision. We'd never joined any HOA. Someone had sent armed strangers onto our property, and my son was paying the price. Rage replaced grief. I looked at Tommy, still clinging to Buttercup, and made a vow. Someone would answer for this. The men's smug faces burned in my mind as I stormed to the barn. They'd mentioned a woman named Linda Grayson, the HOA president, who'd given them access codes and maps. Our land wasn't under her control, but she'd acted like it was. I grabbed an old tranquilizer rifle from the tool shed, one we'd used for wild cattle years ago. I wasn't going to kill anyone, but they'd remember this day. Back in the field, the hunters' smirks faded when they saw the rifle. You brought guns onto my land. I shouted, raising it. Now it's my turn. 2 shots. Thud, thud. The darts hit their marks, one in the tall man's thigh, the other in the shorter man's hip. They collapsed, groaning as the tranquilizer took hold. I grabbed the shorter one by his collar, slamming his face into the mud. That's for my son, I hissed, ripping his satchel free. Inside were maps, fake permits, and Linda's name stamped on every page. Then I saw her, standing by the fence in a crisp blue blazer, clipboard in hand, like she was inspecting a golf course. Linda Grayson, queen of the HOA, her lips pursed in disapproval. What the hell did you do? I barked, storming toward her. She didn't flinch. This property's wasted, overgrown, and unused. The board thought hunters could manage the deer. It's recreational land. This is my ranch. I snapped. We don't pay your dues. We don't follow your rules. Her smile thinned. Technically, your land borders common space. You never filed exclusion paperwork, so we assumed. You assumed wrong. Tommy's cry cut through the air again. I stepped closer, inches from her face. My son's horse is dead because of you. Linda scoffed. It was just a pony. The words hung like a slap. I pulled out my phone, recording her sneer. Say that again. Her eyes flickered, but she doubled down. I said it was just a pony. I stepped back, voice low. You'll regret that, Linda. She turned and walked away, her heels sinking into the mud. I knelt beside Tommy, pulling him close. Go tell Mom to call the sheriff, I whispered. He nodded, tears streaking his face. What are you going to do, Dad? I looked toward the woods where Linda had vanished. Make sure she never forgets who this land belongs to. The sheriff arrived. Too late for justice, too early for peace. The hunters had dragged themselves off, but I handed Sheriff Daniels the satchel, maps, permits, all fake, all signed by Linda Grayson. She gave them gate access, I said, jabbing a finger toward the tree line. She let them trespass and kill. Daniels frowned, flipping through the papers. I'll need footage. You'll get it. Drone, game cam, take your pick. That night sleep didn't come. Tommy sat silent, Ellen's hand tight in mine. The next morning I drove to the sheriff's office with a flash drive. Deputy Carter, a sharp young officer, met me. He pulled up a map of our area, red lines marking our property's edge. Your drone caught the hunters burying something, he said, zooming in. We dug up a cooler with hunting bait and a list of GPS coordinates heading to permitted HOA hunting zones, authorized by L. Grayson. My jaw clenched. She forged it. Carter nodded. We've traced the names. These guys are part of a poaching ring, moving meat across state lines. Felony charges if we tie Linda to it. She tied herself. I said, handing him my recording of her, just a pony, remark. That's not negligence, that's intent. Carter leaned back. We can build a case, but Linda's got money and lawyers. She won't go down easy. Then we'll drag her down hard. We built a memorial for Buttercup, a white wooden arch with her name in soft yellow, her saddle on a cedar post. Tommy chose a smooth creek stone to sit beneath it, like the ones he'd shared with her. It was sacred, beautiful, and it infuriated Linda. She showed up Monday in a white SUV, sunglasses gleaming, a lawyer in a cheap suit trailing her. Ellen stepped out first, exhausted. What do you want, Linda? The lawyer cleared his throat. This property's flagged for non-compliance. That structure violates HOA guidelines. It's a memorial, I snapped. You're out of your depth. Linda turned, voice icy. Your ranch borders public green space. You built on shared land. My fists clenched. That land's deeded to me. You don't own an inch. The lawyer shuffled papers. According to amended boundaries, amended by who? I barked. Linda smiled. Rules evolve. She left, muttering, this isn't over. She was right. That night they burned it. The smoke hit me at 3:00 a.m. Burnt wood, melted plastic, gasoline's sour sting. I bolted out, shouting for Ellen to grab Tommy. Barefoot, I sprinted to the pasture with water buckets. The memorial was engulfed, flames roaring orange. Buttercup's saddle was ash. I tried smothering the fire, but it was pointless, accelerant, soaked, meant to erase her. Sirens wailed as neighbors called it in. By dawn, only blackened dirt remained. Tommy sat on the porch trembling. Why do they hate us, Dad? I don't know. I said, rage choking me, but they're not getting away with it. Deputy Carter arrived, rubbing his face. I hoped Linda would stop at forged maps, but this. A deputy found a melted gasoline can arson, deliberate. I handed him new camera footage. There was Linda, hooded but unmistakable in her white boots and blue scarf, dousing the memorial. Carter stared. She's cooked. Jail. I asked, jaw tight. She will be, he said, but she'll fight. Ellen stepped forward, holding her phone. Let her explain this. An email, leaked from a former HOA member, Susan, detailed Linda's bribes, map fraud, and plan to seize our land. Carter smiled grimly. We're not just pressing charges. We're burying her. We thought the fire was the end. Then a certified letter arrived, accusing us of running an unlicensed therapy center with Buttercup, demanding $5,000 daily fines until we vacated. They're using her against us, Tommy said, fists clenched. I want to speak at the town meeting. I want to tell them what she did. You sure? I asked. He nodded. If they won't listen to you, maybe they'll hear me. That evening, we met Carter, Susan, and a surveyor, Greg. This land was never HOA, Greg said, unrolling maps. Linda redrew her own lines, illegal and sloppy. Susan added, with these emails, she's done. Carter nodded. Fraud, arson, conspiracy going federal. But Linda struck again. An emergency HOA meeting was called to seize our ranch through a community vote. Ellen grabbed Tommy's hand. We fight together. The HOA clubhouse buzzed with Linda's loyalists. She stood at the front, blazer gleaming, slideshow flashing fake maps. Due to violations and fire hazards, we moved to seize the Miller Ranch immediately. In favor, say aye. I shoved the doors open, marching down the aisle. Hold it. The room stilled. I slammed a folder on her podium. Your maps are fake. Your permits are forged, and your name's on them. Linda scoffed. Absurd. Are we letting accusations derail? Not accusations. Susan shouted. I saw her do it. Greg stepped up. I have the original maps. This ranch was never HOA. Carter entered, badge flashing. We're investigating Miss Grayson. Voting with her could make you complicit in a federal crime. Silence. Linda's jaw twitched. You can't prove. Carter held up a flash drive, video, audio, your scarf at the fire. Gasps rippled. The HOA president Harold stood, meeting adjourned. Linda tried to storm out, but Carter blocked her. You're not going anywhere. The ranch grew quiet, a healing stillness. Neighbors helped rebuild Buttercup's memorial, cedar planks, flowers, motion lights. Then a federal agent arrived. Linda sold over 60 fake hunting licenses across state lines, he said. Organized land fraud, you're a key witness. That afternoon, one of the hunters returned, spitting gravel. You ruined my life. He growled. You killed my son's horse. I snapped. Be grateful you're not in jail. He stepped closer. This isn't over. No, I said, it is. That night I checked every lock, shotgun ready. Tommy held his new horse's reins, eyes hard. If he comes back, I'll call the sheriff. A manila envelope arrived weeks later, a corporate law firm claiming easement rights tied to Linda's forged maps. She's still pulling strings. Ellen said, trembling, not for long. I growled. We called Carter, Susan, and Greg. They didn't expect our press conference. Reporters came, along with families from the Buttercup Healing Foundation. Tommy stood by the barn, eyes steady. This land isn't for sale. It belongs to the people who heal here. The developers backed off. 3 weeks later, the county courthouse declared our ranch a protected agricultural and therapeutic zone, untouchable by HOA or developers. Ellen wept as I read the letter. Tommy held Buttercup's photo. We did it right for her, I said, and everyone like her. We rebuilt the memorial in stone and steel, tiles painted by local kids. A plaque read, even small voices can be loud when they tell the truth. Linda's final move, a jailhouse lawsuit claiming Tommy slandered her, crumbled under public pressure. Her lawyers bailed. 2 months later, Tommy spoke at a youth conference, boots dusty, voice clear. Buttercup helped me find my voice. When they tried to take it, I used it louder. I'll keep using it for the next kid, the next animal, because this land stands for something now. Linda watched from her cell, silenced. The world listened to the boy she tried to break. Our quiet ranch became a war we never wanted. We didn't seek headlines, just a place for Tommy and Buttercup to heal. But peace isn't given, it's fought for, not with rage, but with truth. Buttercup was Tommy's voice before he had one, his courage when he faltered. When she was taken, we choose to speak louder than the lies, the fire, the fear. Today, our ranch heals kids like Tommy, giving strength to the gentle, hope to the broken. Linda thought she could rewrite our lives, but the truth is carved in stone forever. What's your stand? Have you faced injustice or fought for what's right? Share your thoughts below. Should violence ever answer cruelty, or does truth alone suffice? Let's hear your voice.